Did you know that our brain doesn't fully absorb positive thinking when it's under high stress? If you're an athlete, I know you know what I'm talking about. When we get into big pressure moments or we've made a mistake and we're frustrated and a coach or a parent says, hey, just have positive thoughts, think good thoughts. And we try and we feel like A, it doesn't work, or we feel like I'm getting more frustrated. I'm getting more stressed out trying to think better. Well, there are reasons behind why our brain isn't fully absorbing it or why it feels like it doesn't work. And we're going to go into 4 of those reasons. And then I'm going to teach you a little bit different way to talk to yourself or think under high pressure that your brain is going to respond to in a better way to help you kind of come out of that stress or at least function under that stress. Okay. So our brain doesn't often absorb positive thinking because of how our nervous system's wired. We are wired for survival, okay? And so one of the ways that we survive is through negativity. I use this example in session all the time, especially with my younger athletes, is if I didn't have negativity in my life, then I would walk around the world just walking off cliffs or walking in front of cars because nothing in my system alerted me that something could go wrong. Okay, while it may be great to have no fear and worry, I would also probably not survive very long. Okay, so we have something called a negativity bias, which means that our brain prioritizes threats over positive information. Okay, because from an evolutionary standpoint, our survival depended on avoiding danger and not feeling good. Okay. So under stress, the brain will amplify these things. It will amplify negative thoughts. It will amplify, what if I fail? What if I get embarrassed? What if something bad happens? Okay. So negativity bias is one reason our brain will really throw out positivity. Okay. Number 2 is the fight or flight response blocks logical thinking. So when stress triggers the amygdala, our amygdala is the brain's alarm system. It will start shutting down logical thinking. So it starts shutting down our prefrontal cortex, which is our logical thinking, decision making, problem solving. I am speaking out of my prefrontal right now because it is conscious thought. It is coming from here and now. Okay. So this means that logical, positive thoughts like, I've trained for this, I can do this, don't register as important when stress hormones like cortisol, adrenaline take over. The brain says, no, I don't care how logical you're being right now. No, this is survival is most important, and those things don't help me survive. Okay. Number 3 is what we call cognitive dissonance. The brain rejects what feels untrue. Okay. So if an athlete is overwhelmed with fear, with doubt, and you're simply saying, I am confident, I'll be fine, this can feel fake. This can feel forced, and the brain will reject it. Okay. So the more positive thought that contradicts the current emotional state that you're in, the less effective it becomes. Okay. So we call this cognitive dissonance. All right. Number 4, last one. The body's stress state overpowers mental messages. Okay. So when stress is high, right, we get those physiological features. Muscles tighten up, breathing gets shallow or it can speed up, the heart rate will spike, we can get sweaty hands. These things reinforce that something's wrong. Okay. When we're in that heightened state, the brain focuses again purely on danger, purely on the threats, not encouragement. So making it so hard for us and our brain to absorb those positive messages. So again, as we get into a more and more heightened state, the brain says no encouragement, no reassurance, positivity is going to help me because it's not going to help me survive. Okay. Pretty fascinating, right? So how do we get the brain to respond to us under stress? All right. If we look back on all the things we just learned, remember, this is the most important piece, that our brain is truly trying to help us survive that moment. It may just be us standing in the batter's box or on the free throw line, but the brain doesn't know the difference. If you're really stressing about it, fearful, and your brain's gotten involved, it's saying, whoa, this is really big. We need to survive it. And so how we talk to ourselves has to be in a way that's going to help us survive that moment. So the biggest and most useful strategy is action-oriented language. Okay. So instead of saying, I'm confident, I'm fearless, those are great things to say, but if they aren't working for you, it's because either A, you don't believe those things, and that creates cognitive dissonance, or the brain says, I don't know what to do with that. I don't know what confident means to you. I don't know what fearless means to you. So action-oriented language that it's going to respond to is, I'm confident, stand tall, shoulders back, deep breaths, push through their hips, attack. Okay, I gave it directions for my confidence. I'm leaning in with what I'm going to do to get through this moment versus just saying words like I'm confident or I'm fearless. I told my brain what that means to me and what I'm going to do. And the brain will respond and thank you for those directions. Okay. The next thing is being able to pair, like I did, I said, hey, take a deep breath, pair physical actions with those action-oriented directives. So breathing, movement, calming things. Make sure you can have something to pair with your words that will always increase the likelihood that your brain's going to respond. You're going to feel better. Okay. Lastly is focus on process, not emotion. I think so many times we get so focused on the feelings we're having. I need to feel confident. I can't feel nervous. I can't feel this way. I need to feel a certain way. Instead of focusing on that feeling, focus on your process. I need to feel confident versus I need to attack that basket. Okay. I need to drive through them. Okay. Get away from that feeling and focus on that process that's going to make you feel better, going to make you feel more confident. Okay. We want to be in doing mode, not feeling mode. Our brain wants to hear from us effective, believable, and action-based strategies. Those things that we will respond to better and lower the stress response faster because it says you've survived it. You're doing what you need to do to take on this threat.